Hey there, you're listening to the Boston Celtics newsfeed. This is Celtics Roundtable, brought to you by the CLNS Media Network, the leading online provider of audio-video coverage of the Boston Celtics. Welcome inside, everyone. We got a full house tonight. Matt Ignal here alongside Jonathan Levy, Lucky's Pipe, and Valenti, and we want to welcome on CLNS's own cap expert, Sam Sheehan, who writes for Celtics Hub. He's also co-host of CLNS's Scorching Shamrocks, where you can find only the hottest Celtics take. By the way, Sam, when are we getting another one of these? Because I've been like since January.
Yeah, so the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts has to find a parole officer that's willing to take on James Sullivan. The Walpole Correctional Facility is desperately trying to get him out of there because I guess his conjugal visits are really a problem for a lot of people who deal with that, and the corrections officers don't want to deal with it. So they're trying to get Sullivan, should be out sometime soon. I'm going to line up some pods, what he calls nerd shows, where he's going to do some bits from prison, and then send them out to us with some monologues. But then I'm actually going to try and do some cap stuff with some experts before Sullivan comes back in time for summer league and stuff. He's already asked to crash on my floor. I don't know how I feel about that.
Just sleep with one eye open, man. You'll be fine.
Anyway, so happy to be here, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I probably should have led with that, but appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Celtics here. Eliminated last night. It was pretty brutal. I don't even want to go into the game, but all eyes now are sort of going to be on the future. What does the roster look like next year? What will Danny Ainge and company do? So in order to sort of unravel this, let's maybe take a quick look back at this season so we can sort of make these kinds of adjustments. So I'll start with you, Jonathan Levy. Watching this team this year, what did you learn about them?
I think we all learned that Isaiah Thomas is much more than the sum of his very, very short parts. That guy somehow, some way, averaged 29 points a game, scored almost 10 points a game in the fourth quarter, willed his way to second-team All-NBA. I have no idea how any of that happened. Still is a terrible defensive player, but got the Celtics to 53 wins in the number one seed in the East, was unquestionably the best player on the team. I think we learned that he is capable, when healthy, of being a very, very big-time important player. Not probably the best player on a title team or anything like that, but a very, very big-time player. We learned that Avery Bradley keeps getting better. We learned that Al Horford was more or less what we thought he was, and that he absolutely could fit into pretty much any system because he has all the skills except the rebounding. This team showed heart. They had defense. It was an incredible year, and they went as far as they possibly could. I mean, getting blown out by the Cavs is a shame, but the Cavs are always going to beat them. The Cavs are always better than they were. This is just how it ends up. They got as far as they could. They got the number one pick in the draft. It was basically a best-case scenario season for the Celtics. Brad Stevens has nothing to be ashamed about. He coached the hell out of this team. It was an awesome, awesome year.
Shout out to IT, that month of my life that he was scoring so many points in the fourth quarter, and there was no deficit in the fourth quarter that I thought they were going to lose the game, because I was just put an IT, fourth quarter IT, he's going to do it all, and he did for most of the games. That was a peak moment.
Going into this season, there were good feelings about Boston. They're going in the right direction. This season basically just confirmed for me that Boston has basically aced almost every single part of their rebuild at this point. Shy of getting Durant in the offseason, they've nailed everything. They have a new amazing coach. They have tons of young players. They have cap space coming up, which I'm sure Sam will get to in a little bit. They have young players with talent. They have a different culture of winning. They have at least one star player in Isaiah Thomas, and they have a really solid player in Al Horford. Everything is trending in their direction, and Danny is a genius. That's basically where I'm at.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for laying down. I appreciate it, guys. That was really nice of you.
Billy King.
Yeah, Billy King. Good luck. Hopefully you get another job somewhere. Let's angle for the Kings for you. No, I thought, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. The emergence of IT has probably got to be where this season, starts and finishes. I think the flashes of Jaylen Brown were really important. Me especially, I was kind of down on him coming out just because his advanced metrics were so, terrible and horrid. But, we've definitely seen enough of Jaylen Brown and seen enough flashes that, I, for one, am really excited to see, how his maturation comes along, because he plays at a very important position. Small forwards good small forwards are very hard to find. Terry Rozier, I think was sort of an afterthought, and we kind of saw him in these playoffs sort of reaffirm that he, could be a very solid rotation guard going forward. And Marcus Smart, just coming up and just being smart, I guess, is the thing. Like just coming up in big moments, now we kind of know what Marcus Smart is. I don't know how much different he's going to be. He's going to have big games. He's going to play his ass off. When the game's on the line, he's going to make the big shots. You can sort of underscore that as the maturation of their young players was also something we really saw. We're just not that much negative outside of James Young.
He hit a smooth 3. I was like, oh, yeah, James Young, you back, brother.
Last points in Celtics history, man, for James Young. That's a big deal. You guys, we all were witnesses.
Did he hit his last shot?
You guys don't know that. He might be back.
Keep him on the team, dude. Keep him on the team.
No way,
He might
James.
be back.
Sam Sheehan knows that cap hit is so
might.
minute.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not.
Money.
I'm not even doing a bit right now. He might I am more certain that Tyler Zeller will not be back than I am that James Young will not be back.
I mean, they have 17 players next season. Remember, 17. So
Right.
James Young might be one of them.
2 of them.
Conversely,
He will be on the 2-way contract.
Conversely, that hair, the hairdo he's got rolling right now, dude,
That's $1 million haircut right there.
that's
Though.
swag.
Yeah, $1 million haircut.
The more
better.
likely you are to be cut, the bigger your hair gets. That's what I heard. So that's why we saw Marcus's hair get when he got the haircut is when he started playing better. It's the reverse. Sullinger, hair grew out. What happened? I mean, gone. He's in Phoenix. I'm just saying. The working theory. He will not be long for the NBA unless he gets healthy. But all right, R.I.P. Sully. Pour one out for your guy.
Also, Mickey, the last 6 minutes was pretty insane. That one block over an entire person.
I'll tell you though, his D-League highlights are unbelievable. I mean, he's doing crossovers, he's backing people down, he's hitting threes, he's blocking tons of shots. His spot scores are unbelievable. And then he comes on an NBA floor and has no idea what to do. It's staggering.
Him and James Young, the amount of Red Claws highlights I've watched, and been like, dude, if James Young is throwing up step back threes,
It was 44%. We'll always have that from his rookie year with the Red Claws.
Oh my God!
Jonathan saying in the group chat that James Young goes down like Boromir.
Ouch.
Redemption. This is what I kind of want people to remember when because people are Yabusele is really killing it, and Nader Nader's gonna come up. He was rookie. You got to remember the D League is if you're not putting up a triple double in the D League, if you don't have Westbrook numbers in the D League, it's kind of a red flag.
I mean, Zizic hasn't played in the D League.
Zair's all over that. He's all over the Zizic train. I'm excited for him because if they can just put Steven Adams on the floor, he kind of plays like Steven Adams. But I mean, he is only 20 years old and has been playing in different European leagues and been okay.
Well, Zair's the only guy who's more interested in Ante Zizic than Markelle Fultz. I'm pretty sure he's the only guy.
He's more interested in Zizic.
He is though. He's totally legit. That's not even fake.
He thinks Zizic is starting next season.
And he might.
I mean, he might. There's no
Zizic,
good reason to believe that.
Right. He might because the big problem, they really are going to have an enormous big issue if Gordon Hayward comes. They're going to have it's the second. There's a chance number 2 on the depth chart if you don't start Zizic or Yabusele is Jordan Mickey. That's how bad the big depth will get if you don't play Jordan Crawford, Jay Crowder at that game broke my brain.
Yeah, it broke my brain.
Oh man, Jordan Crawford. I'm thinking about the heyday, Eastern Conference Player of the Week. I think
Jordan Crawford was the first. He was oh my God, Stevens is the legit master.
I think the thing that sucks for Jordan Crawford is that he got traded mid-season and got to suck again. If he had hit free agency ET. He might have gotten the ET contract. He might still be in the league as cap filler being traded around. Yeah. Oh, Steez. R.I.P.
It's playoff season, and having the right players on the court will be the key to success. That sharp outside shooter or power rebounder can be the difference between winning and losing. Business isn't any different. Your company needs the right people to be the best. So where do you go to find top talent? At ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites with a single click. Then their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your position. And right now, listeners to the Boston Celtics newsfeed can start forming their own winning team on ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/sportsfan. So the Celtics, as we know, got the number 1 pick. That's pretty much going to kick off their summer. Then they're going to most likely pursue a max free agent. I think everybody thinks it's going to be Gordon Hayward first. I don't know how everybody feels about Blake Griffin, but I think most of the league correctly recognizes now that Gordon Hayward is the more valuable player. They also have picks 37, 53, and 56, by the way. No one's talking about those. But this season, I guess, could establish who is a keeper on this team. And I feel like, Sam, you just sort of named your guys over there. But in order to open up this, cap space, the Celtics are going to have to make some hard decisions. Sam, can you give us a little bit of a rundown of the order that you think that this will go?
Gotcha. So yeah, what has to happen is right now the way everything's are doing. So they're probably going to they're almost definitely going to waive Tyler Zeller because he actually has a 2-year contract. He's actually under contract for next year, but it's fully non-guaranteed. So they need to waive him before I think it's July 2nd. But since the waiver process takes 2 days, he's actually probably going to be waived on the 30th of June. So they kind of have to do that. So even the moratorium on NBA business kicks off on the 1st. So they're in order to even be on the safe side, they're just going to have to waive Tyler Zeller right off the bat. If they renounce, this is a little complicated, but basically there's cap holds for all your unrestricted free agents and restricted free agents. So that would be Jonas Jerebko, Gerald Green, James Young, Kelly Olynyk, and Amir Johnson. So the Celtics actually don't have to renounce anyone right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? They can kind of let their guys, the unrestricted free agents are going to go out and try and get deals for themselves, as they should. Kelly Olynyk, because he's a restricted free agent, Celtics can just sort of sit on him a little bit so basically what they can do is they can go out and have meetings with Gordon Hayward, have meetings with depending on what you think they might do, Blake Griffin or Paul Millsap or Danilo Gallinari. That's where the free agency is going to really be fun, is those first 4 days from the 1st through the 5th. They're going to extend the qualifying offer to Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk's not going to take that and just sign for the 1 year of qualifying offer because he's going to make more than that. He's going to make at least $10 million, probably more like 13 if you had to ask me to estimate it. They're more likely to match any offers on Kelly Olynyk. See, that's that's the part of the free agency that I'm trying to undo, is sort of figure out if they don't get a top max free agent guy, what do they spend their money on? Because they're not going to have the cap space going forward. They can't just roll this cap space, because with Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, and Isaiah Thomas all coming off the books in 2018, because of complicated cap things with cap holds and stuff like that, they're actually going to lose $14 million in cap space without even signing anyone. That's just in cap holds. So, they're really facing, this is the absolute last chance for them to use the cap space. So it's kind of a question, what do you do if Gordon Hayward doesn't come? What are the Celtics gonna do? And also assuming they aren't gonna target Blake Griffin or Paul Millsap or Danilo Gallinari or these other sort of sub premium free agents. I really wonder what they're gonna do.
Be sure to subscribe to the Boston Celtics newsfeed and give us a follow on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable. Also, giving a 5-star review to the newsfeed on iTunes. That really helps us out. So we'll be back again and again throughout the summer, talking about Summer League, talking about free agency, talking about the draft. We're not going anywhere. So stay tuned to Celtics Roundtable on the Boston Celtics newsfeed. So for Jonathan Levy, Evan Valenti, Lucky's Pipe, and Sam Sheehan, I'm Matt Ignal. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back soon.
You can throw this in after, but honestly, it needs to be said that anybody that wants to say to trade the 1 pick for anybody, honestly, PG-13, keep the 1 pick, draft Fultz.
Anthony Davis is fine.
Paul Pierce said that, right?
Anthony Davis is okay. I'll take him. But there's 3 guys.
Kawhi Leonard, I'd think about him.
Yeah.
Oh, the best two-way player in the game. You got to think about it.
But yeah, I hear you. I agree with you totally, Lucky.
Yeah. If that had come up, I'm kind of glad it didn't, because I just would have gotten incoherent, like read, mad, and nude. And just
but I've read that so much time on Twitter. It's just like, oh, but the PG-13 is on the team.
I mean, the fact that they got destroyed by Cleveland maybe will quiet all that down, though, because no one can possibly think if you add one player to this team, PG-13 or whatever, that suddenly they're going to be able to beat this team that just destroyed them. Them.
Well, and it's like all those cap reasons I just mentioned too. Like you also make that like a problem. Like you would that
timeline real quick,
right? No, you would just make yourself like a shit version of like the Cavs and the Warriors. Like that's the real like shooting yourself in the foot.